welcome to Cooking with John. This is the nutritional educational video that we're going to be including a part of our Road to Ronnie Coleman. So we're showing you a lot of nibbits and snips about how we do our training, about our mentality, and about the kind of focus that you got to have for trying to reach one of your goals that we got to have in order to do our goal for the show. So we're going to bring it on over to the kitchen. This is where all the work gets done. First thing I do in the morning, I'm very strict when it comes to like the kind of things I eat and the way I eat. I don't need a lot of variety. I feel like too much variety makes it too crazy, makes it where I can't be as consistent as I want. I mean, after all, you're getting ready for a show. You just put that in your mind, just buckle down for like 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever your duration is for your diet. Because at the end of it, you're going to come out with the result that you want. It's the same as the focus you got to put in the gym and on your other personal goals. You have to have that all together. So first thing I do is I drink a protein shake. It doesn't matter how much water is in there, but I try to get more fluid in there. I'm doing this thing not for the flavor, but for the effectiveness. First thing you do in the morning when you consume any food is that you actually break a fast that your body's been going through while you've been sleeping, whether it's 6 or 8 hours. You haven't been eating during that time. So protein will help kickstart metabolism. It also keeps your body from your insulin from spiking. Now, this is actually pretty interesting here too. There's a bit of variance on their scoops. Their scoops are supposed to be weighing, on their serving size, supposed to be weighing 32 grams whenever they're full. But for some reason, they've been slightly off. So I've actually realized this and started weighing the scoop. So 32 grams was supposed to weigh, and it comes out to be like 34. And like you think, oh, John, you're crazy. That's not that big of a difference, except I take 4 shakes a day at 2 scoops. That's 8 shakes. So that's 8 times 2. That's 16 grams extra protein, which, you're like, oh, that's not that big a deal. But to me, I want to be able to repeat the process that I've done to get my results. So I want to be as close and precise with my numbers as I can be so I can get the same result and really limit the variance, because you're already going to have enough variables going on while you're trying to get ready for a show. When you're trying to do things, different stuff will stress you out. You're not going to be able to get much sleep. You're going to train as hard as you can, as your capacity will allow, and that's enough for me. I don't want to, anything I can kind of be more rigid about, I'm going to just buckle down and do it. So this says 34, so I'm going to try and get rid of 2 grams of this here. Let's see if I can make it happen. And there we go. It hit 32. Can't really see from this angle. I think it's 32. I think I saw 32. Okay, so I just 1 scoop. I do 2 scoops of them first thing in the morning. That gives me 50 grams of protein and 240 calories. So for me, for my nutrition, I do for myself, I do high protein, low carb. So the amount of protein I actually intake is at 400 grams when I'm currently on this diet. It has in other times been higher, depending upon what my lean mass is and what my carbohydrate intake is. All right, so that's the first thing you do. One eye open, get over there, knock the protein shake out. It's a really good practice, whether you're getting ready for a show, you're not getting ready for a show. It feels like what I was saying, the benefits of it for you will be. Now, for what I do for my next meal, I don't really count the shakes as a meal, but some people do. But what I do next is I'm preparing my rice. My rice is going to be my form of carbohydrates that I'll be eating exclusively for the day. I do a front load on all my carbohydrates, so that means that anything that I'm consuming is going to be before I work out. Fortunately for me, I get to work out relatively soon after after my morning prep is all done. So what I have to do is get 200 grams of carbs out of my rice. So that means that my rice actually has to weigh 250 grams. Now, a lot of people get confused on this topic, so I would like to just take a little time and touch on it. Again, everybody has their way of doing it. I just want to be able to mimic and copy and paste for myself with some added changes depending upon what look I'm trying to get, how big I am, how small I am. But it can be all relative if I just make sure that I control the thing that I control. So when it comes to the rice, this is a big bag of rice. Really great product, cheap. It's at, I think I got this one at Costco. It's lasted me a long time. I don't even remember when I bought it. So, so we got here, it says the servings over here on this side, 160 calories in a fourth cup, right? And then you come down, trace this down, and we got carbohydrates, 36 grams in one serving, okay? That's really what we're gonna focus on. The proteins in this aren't complete, so I'm not really gonna be counting on those to help me with my protein goal. So when we come here, most people usually go by, okay, if I get a fourth a cup, I'm gonna get 36 grams of carbs. But as you saw with the protein powder, the scoop isn't necessarily gonna be the same amount every time. You're gonna get a variance. And if you're really, trying to dial your carbs in, that's gonna matter that you're going over like anywhere from 50 to 100 grams of carbs a day because you got that variance. So there's another number in parentheses over here. It's the 45 grams. I call this the American way. If you ever get bread, sliced bread, it says one slice. Well, what if all the slices aren't the same, right? They also put in parentheses the actual weight of the slice. So here, that we can be more accurate. So here is the actual weight of the serving that that's being talked about here on the back. So it's 45 grams. So 45 grams of weighed rice will be 36 grams of carbohydrates. So what I do is, it's a really simple formula. It's really, you just gotta think about it. Your number that you wanna get, me, it's 200. So I take 200, which is the amount of carbohydrates I'm trying to receive in my meal. And I divide that by the actual carbohydrates that are present in the serving, which in this case is 36. So I take 200 divided by 36, and then you multiply that times the weight of each serving. That way you know how much volume, how much your rice is supposed to weigh. And it comes out to 250, a very even, easy number to remember for me, thankfully. So I'm actually gonna, let me show you. I told you it lasted me a really long time. So I moved it from that bag to this because that bag was being a menacing thing. So I'm gonna zero this out. You put your, whatever you want to measure it by. It doesn't have to be a measuring cup or nothing because you're getting rid of that element and going by the numeric values. I haven't seen any non-digital food scales. That would be scary. So you get your item, your measuring cup, you zero it out, and you want to weigh it. This says 132, so I go from 132. Yeah, I'm gonna use my hand. Sorry guys. It's just me and my rice. 147. So I know that for a fact. This thing doesn't really hold 200 grams. So I'll take this, I'll dump it into my rice maker, and I'll deduct 147 from my 250, and then that means I need another. Let's see, what's 153? 153. No, 103. Sorry, 103. I get 103 grams more rice, and then I'll have my rice made. Now the rice actually balloons up depending upon the volume of water you put in it to a different number. That number doesn't matter. You weigh your rice and grains before you cook them, not after. That's very important, very crucial, so you can be accurate with that. All right, so then that covers the rice and the protein. Next is the rest of my meals here. This is my lovely refrigerator. I got my kids on here, my two sons, Dan and Jeff. One is a disappointment. And then this is what the fridge looks like, man. Like, this is what we got. I do have someone that stays with me. I have my girlfriend that stays with me, so I'm not drinking the milk. That's not me. And I can't handle this hot sauce. That's not me. I like my chicken plain. But luckily she takes care of me and she cooks it pretty good. So I have here different things. So like I said, my protein number is at 400 grams of protein. So I portion someone portions my food out for me ahead of time. But we make it happen. All the numbers and stuff are right. So I have in the blue container, I know there's 10 ounces of chicken. In the red container, there's 16 ounces of chicken. This is chicken breast. So here together, it's gonna be 26 ounces of chicken, okay? All right, so this is gonna be my chicken. I have one that has 10 ounces and one that has a pound. Now, if you look at these bowls, you notice that there's no vegetables in those. It's very important that you can be consistent with what you're eating. And I found that when I incorporated vegetables as part of my dietary regimen when I'm getting ready for a show, it was not, I could not be as consistent. They expired really fast. I was always running to the store, and it was causing a real problem for me. So, but I just eliminated them from there and made it to where I just focused on my macros. Now I get my other micronutrients in from my supplements, and we'll go over those later. And I'm not expressing in any way that this is the way that a person should conduct their entire life. But if you're getting ready for a show, it's very important that you're consistent and that you can make sure that you have all these components in order and that you don't have all these big changes. So, and like I said, I got 10 ounces on the left, 16 ounces on the right, and I eat another 6 ounces when I come home. That's gonna be 32 ounces chicken. That's 2 pounds of chicken that I eat, along with 4 protein shakes. Okay, this is boneless, skinless chicken breast. And the reason I eat one when I come home and I leave the 2, I take 2 with me, is because I like to have a different texture. The different texture makes it to where that I can really eat it and it tastes different. So this one's in the microwave, this one's in the microwave, and then when I come home, my treat for me is gonna be that I use this thing. This is the air fryer. It's a little rusty, a little dusty, but he does a good job, okay? Now, the way that you prepare your food doesn't matter as long as you don't add in any extra ingredients. So if you don't add in any oils, you can put your chicken on a pan. If you don't add any of that stuff in there, you can put it on the grill, do whatever you want. That way you can have that rotation of flavor, rotation of texture, and it will help propel you in your diet. There's some people, as you saw in my refrigerator, I have someone else that I live with, so I have their food items in there. There's even more stuff in the cupboard, stuff like that. I'm the one that's on the diet, not them. So it's very important that you keep that in mind when you're trying to do these things, so that you're not pushing someone else to do what is already difficult enough for you, and you have the goal. You gotta have a balanced lifestyle. You gotta let other people eat and be around them. You can't just put yourself in a corner and not go to birthday parties and events because you're on a diet. You're doing it wrong if you gotta do all that. I'm gonna be straight with you. You gotta be able to still live your life and do this thing. So this is how I do my meals. All my food is, I have the rice in the morning. I'll have this chicken. I have my rice workout. I have the 10-ounce chicken post-workout, and then I actually have the 16-ounce chicken. I cut that into 2 8-ounce meals, and then usually the time frames usually depend upon when I get done with that. Like I said, there's a lot of changing variables you can't control, so the ones that you can, really put your best foot forward and really do that. I work and eat, so sometimes I'm too busy to eat at the designated time that I want to eat, but I do make sure I have my items with me at all times. So between this and the rice, that brings us to 1, 2, 3, 4 meals, and then I have a 5th meal when I come home. We're gonna have some supplements I want to review with you guys, so you guys get a good idea of that, because I am a professional natural bodybuilder. So everything I'm gonna show you guys, you can take. It's not gonna mess up your hormones or cause you to be negative or positive on a test or nothing like that. And so I'm gonna go over that. That way you have that information too.